go.
Hi, my name is Brad. I'm a salesperson here at Surfing Hydrangea Nursery. We're located at 91 Somerset Road out on Nantucket. And I thought it would be a good thing to talk about summer pruning on Wisteria to follow up on my little video we did on winter pruning. So it's a good idea first, before you tackle big vines, to keep in mind your overall objectives. And those would be to cover the support and to create flowers next to the main framework of the vine. In summer pruning, particular objectives would be to keep the vine in bounds and to increase sun exposure into the center of the vine, and also to continue to help it to cover its support. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing that's very important when you're pruning large vines to keep in mind is it can be very dangerous. So the first thing to do is to take a look at the support that the vine is growing on. Large wisterias are often planted on pergolas, and they're often made out of wood, and they also can sometimes be planted on trellises on the side of the house. Again, wooden. So before you get up into a support system, take a really good look at it and make sure that it's in good condition, that it can support the vine, and that it can also support any weight that you might put on it while you're pruning. The second thing is, if it's windy, which it often is on Nantucket, don't go high up onto someone's roof or into the pergola when it's very windy. It's very easy to trip inside a tangled vine. Work with a partner. It's very nice to have someone up in the trellis and someone else down on the bottom to watch your ladder and to clean up below you as you work. Never stand on the top two rungs of a ladder. It can be very, very insecure. It's easy to fall, especially when you're working on something that you're focused on above your head. And also work from below a pergola. Never climb up into the top tier of a pergola or stand on top of the pergola and try to prune that way. Alright, so here we go. Main goals again for summer pruning are to keep the vine in bounds, and I'll tell you how do you do that. During the summer, the vine is going to put out an awful lot of vegetative growth like this. It's long, and it doesn't help you with your objective of covering the trellis. It also won't flower. So the best thing to do is to cut it back to within 6 inches of the main framework. This is going to allow light into the vine, and it's also going to limit the spread, which is another thing. If you have something planted near the house, it can easily go up over the roof. It can go up underneath your downspouts and so on. So you just nick them all off. You don't need to be very scientific about it. You know, in the winter, we're going to do a much more detailed pruning, so that's it. Just whack it off at the edges of all the trellis and any area that you don't want it to be. So that's the first thing. So we'll shorten anything that's out of control. And then the second thing is to reduce any unnecessary long shoots that are from the bottom of the plant. And I brought this one here. This is a better example. It has a lot of really long lateral growth that's growing sideways from the bottom of the plant. And with these guys, as I mentioned earlier, if you let them grow, they're going to root like crazy all along the ground. And when people talk about wisteria being particularly invasive or aggressive, this is what's happening. They're rooting and running along the ground, along the side of the house, into the woods, etc. So we really want to get rid of these. Any of these really long shoots just have to go. And as you're pruning away, keep in mind if there's any areas on the support that we want to cover, we could certainly maintain 1 or 2 of the long vines and use them to cover the trellis. Just tie them in and away you go. So that's it. Summer pruning on wisteria. Do it. It's very important. It's going to help you have beautiful flowers, and it's going to keep the vine in check. Thanks again.